Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Serena and today I'm sharing with you a how to heal the ability to receive in the twin flame dynamic. Watch this video. All right, guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here today. If you are looking for more support on your twin flame journey, your relationships, or your awakening journey, check the links in the description below. It'll take you to my relationship repair course. Everything that I've learned in my almost 30 years of life, everything that has come to me in terms of my twin flame, now my soul family, healing karmic relationships and narcissistic patterns and dynamics, codependent patterns and dynamics, it's all in there. So if you're looking for a crash course of healing, this is the thing for you. It's much faster than working with me one-on-one. Not that you shouldn't work with me one-on-one, because that's also incredible and I love chatting with you guys and I love experiencing what you guys are going through. It's so fulfilling. But if you're somebody that needs a crash course and needs, maybe doesn't have the financial resources to pay for many sessions, this is the thing for you. So it's there for you if you're looking for it. Of course, if you'd like a twin flame reading, there's a link down there for that as well. And I'd love to do a twin flame reading with you. And if you're looking for more one-on-one help, you can also contact me or my twin. So enough being said about that. But today we are talking about healing the receiving wound. And so if you're watching this video, it's likely that you already know that you have this wound. But we're going to quickly go over, how do you tell if I have a wound in receiving? And so these are going to be pretty obvious things, right? You like to do a lot of stuff on your own. You're hesitant to ask for help. You might be somebody that really kind of shuts yourself off from receiving help, receiving love, receiving support, all of these things, right? And you might be somebody also that has a history of low self-worth and not feeling like you love yourself or feeling like there's something wrong with you, right? And so this is all tied to receiving because it's all tied to self-worth. Receiving is tied to self-worth. And the more we can pick up our self-esteem, which literally is a whole section in the course that we talk about, so just to throw that in there. If you can literally raise your self-esteem and your self-worth and know that you are worthy, you will naturally start to receive more. So there's two ways that we can go about healing this wound. And I actually do recommend doing both things because it's going to be so much more powerful. You can do one or the other, and one will probably kind of trigger the other. If you've been on this spiritual path, as you start building and you start ascending, then it brings up other dark things and then it brings up other shadow work. And then, so it's all tied together. So you can't really escape one without the other, but the intention to do both is also really powerful and really helpful. So to heal the receiving wound, if you are somebody or if you are not that person, right? A lot of times it's the runner that has this problem, but it's also the chaser that has it in a different way. So if you identify in the twin flame dynamic as a runner or a chaser, you might both have this issue. And it's very common that every human in the world has this issue on various subjects and various things. So none of us are exempt. We're all learning this lesson. We're all learning this lesson of self-acceptance and self-love. But one of the first ways that you can go about doing this is by finding the core wound that created that. And so I like to look at things like my Chiron. So if you are somebody that is into astrology or into human design or into gene keys or into any of that kind of stuff, I am going to make a separate video about how to work with all of these tools. But in astrology, if you look up your astrological chart, you have your date of birth, your time, and your place. You can find all of this information free on the internet. And so you look up your chart, and you will have a Chiron, and it will tell you what your Chiron is in. And then you need to Google, because there's different birth groups for each Chiron. So then you need to find your birth group and figure out what sign your Chiron is in. And then that will tell you, the Chiron is also called like the wounded healer, or it's like your Achilles heel, right? So it's like this deep wound that you have within you that can only be healed through, a lot of times, the service of others, or through healing others, or through the work that you're doing, right? So the Chiron is a big one in this, because it can show you where your receiving wound is coming up. So I'll give you an example. Mine is in Virgo. So it has a lot to do with the physical body and a lot to do with perfectionism. So this shows up for me in receiving when I feel like I'm not doing enough, right? That's a core wound. I am not enough is a core wound. And that's like fear of perfectionism, right? Like, I have to be perfect. I have to do this, this, and this in order to be worthy of receiving love. And is that true? No. But is it a belief in here? Yes. And so what does that mean? My reality will mirror this and will reflect it back to me. So I will not be able to physically receive more love than I think I am worth receiving. So these beliefs must be changed at a core level in order to see it in your physical reality, because your physical reality just mirrors back to you what you believe about yourself. So Chiron is an amazing way to figure this out, and it is spelled Chiron, Chiron. So look into your Chiron. The other thing is to go back and look at core memories from your childhood, right? Those moments where your parents made you feel so unlovable, where they shamed you, where those things happened, right? And look at what you learned from those moments. Because those moments of feeling emotionally manipulated, of feeling disappointed, of feeling shamed, blamed, or guilted, those are going to be core moments that tell you, I am not I am not worthy of receiving love for X, Y, and Z reasons. And so you have to look back at those core moments and those core memories to find the wounds that were created by that. And this is deep healing work. This is not like little easy stuff. This is stuff that will bring up emotion, will bring up sadness, will bring up crying. And this literally happened to me the other day. I was taking a shower and the cold water went on, and instantly I thought it was my fault. I had done something wrong. And so it brought up a belief. And my partner, my twin, actually mirrored this back to me when we were on the phone. And I said, hey, something's wrong with the hot water. And he said, well, it's literally only been happening to you. And so he put me in that place of you are all alone, right? Because he played into my story, my belief about myself. And the only reason I caught it was because it's so out of the realm of what he would normally say to me that I was like, something else must be at play here. And it brought up so much emotion, so much anger, so much frustration. And I had realized that this was a pattern I had my entire life, was to take on the responsibility of something that wasn't mine. And a lot of times, if you're an empath, you also have this. It's where people dumped their emotions on you or dumped their issues on you, and it was your responsibility to take that on because you felt so deeply. And so this is another way of looking at these core wounds and these core moments in our lives and how they continue to play out and affect us to this day. And all of this has to do with what love we're able to receive, right? Because if I didn't have that belief, my partner wouldn't have responded that way, which means I would have received more love in that moment. But I have to change the belief about myself first. So that is one way of doing that. The other way is implementing a lot more self-love and a lot more self-care. And this, honestly, this way is, when you put these two things together, you're unstoppable. But this way is also incredibly wonderful and incredibly empowering, but it can be hard at first too. And we talk about all of this also in my course. So there are different things you can do, right? The brain is wired a certain way. Again, our beliefs create our reality, right? So we have neural pathways going all over the place in our brains, but certain ones are repeated over and over and over again. And so when you insert new routines, new self-love, self-worth routines, this is how you change that belief over time. Because in order for something to be programmed into the subconscious mind, it must be repeated over and over and over again, which is why routines and habits are so important. Because low self-worth is nothing but a habit. The same way as a belief is nothing more than a thought you continue to think. A belief is nothing more than a thought you've continued to think. This is why we can change our beliefs at any moment. We can change how we feel about ourselves starting from any moment. And will it take, it's like building a muscle. It'll take some effort. It's going to take some doing, but you can do it. So implementing things like mantra, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself exactly as I am in this moment. I am complete, I am whole, I am enough. These kind of mantras remind us of our innate divinity, of who we really are at a core level. And so these can really build the self-esteem. And sometimes we feel really stupid saying them for the first time. And even the first 400 times, you might still feel stupid. But I guarantee when I met my twin, I was sitting in the car for almost 8 hours a day, and I was in such a low place. I would just meditate. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. Because the power that that created in me was enough to magnetize my perfect person to me. That's how strong it is. So when you do these things faithfully and consistently, they make a massive difference in your life. Things like, this is another one that I've done consistently throughout my life, is writing a love letter to yourself every morning. Every morning you wake up and you implement this in part of your practice. Maybe you go for your run, you do your meditation, and then you write a love letter to yourself. You slow down, you tap into your higher self, and you sit there and you write whatever it is that you need to hear today. Wherever you're feeling low, you don't shame yourself, you give yourself love. It's okay to be there. It's okay to feel that way. It's okay to cry. It's okay. Whatever it is that you need, you write yourself that love letter, and you do this every single day, and you start treating yourself, and you start receiving the love that you want to receive from others, from yourself first. That is the only way to create a solid, stable foundation, is by receiving it from you first. Because if you can't receive love from you, you won't believe it, or you won't even be able to recognize it from anybody else. If you can't receive love from yourself, you will never be able to receive it from anybody else. And this is true for me too. And I'm constantly evolving and growing in this. As our desires grow, we have to allow more in. We have to be willing to receive more. So this is a constant evolution. But the last thing that you can do, I'm just going to give 3 things, because there's infinite things you can do to improve your self-worth. But another one that I absolutely love is writing down all the qualities that you love about yourself and putting it on your mirror in the morning. And then reading that back to yourself, like when you're brushing your teeth, or when you're doing your hair, or when you're putting your makeup on. I used to have this beautiful routine when I would put my makeup on. I would be like, oh, my cheekbones are so beautiful, and I love the color of my eyes. And as I was doing my beauty routine, like, I would compliment myself. And it's one of those things that might feel shallow to you or might feel weird to do at first, but it makes a massive difference, because where attention flows, energy goes. So if you are constantly giving yourself compliments, the kind of compliments that your twin flame is going to give you, you need to be able to hold that frequency and to really receive that before anybody else is going to be able to do that for you. So these are the two ways in which you can really start to make big shifts, big movements on that receiving wound. And believe me, it's a lifetime practice. So don't feel like you need to heal this completely before you're with your twin flame. Your twin flame will actually help you to continue healing this. And they might actually also have been the one that spurred this for you to begin with. Like for me, I didn't even know I could be loved to that degree until I met my twin flame. So it opened up this whole dimension of what I thought I was worth and what I was even willing to receive. And so that's when the work really started. So it was after I met my twin that I really started to understand, oh wow, I've been kind of playing it small here in this receiving thing, and I do have a lot to heal within myself, but they have also helped me receive and helped me heal those wounds and move through those wounds on each new level that keeps coming up. So don't think you have to have it all sorted out before you meet your twin, but just know like these are very powerful things that can actually attract your twin to you, move union quicker, and also just make you feel incredible about yourself. You deserve this love. You deserve to feel this way about yourself. So putting in that work and creating that foundation from within is the most powerful way you can do it. I hope this video helped you. If you have any questions for me, put them in the comments below. If this video did help, share it with somebody you love. It really helps me grow the channel, get the word out. It helps me help more people. So thank you for helping me help more people, and we will see you in the next video. Big love, Serena.